DEXperience.
Start.
Hi, welcome. Welcome to the DEXperience, where we talk about Pokemon and all things nerdy and fun and funky and fresh.
And now it's going to start getting confusing because we're on episode 4 of DEXperience, but episode 5 of Pokemon.
Wow.
What's going on?
It's
Oh boy.
you gotta know your basic math, everyone. You gotta get it together.
Episode 5, Showdown
Showdown
in
in
Pewter
Pewter
City.
City.
Now, this is like a really cool episode, actually.
Very cool episode.
This is where we get
Great.
basically the Holy Trinity after
Yeah.
this episode.
Yeah,
You're
the
not
gang
wrong.
is all together finally.
Mm.
Finally,
Eventually.
so long.
Eventually.
It's been
I
4
actually-
episodes.
Probably until like a couple of days ago, I didn't know that like Brock and Misty weren't still there. Like,
Really?
I thought it's always still them three, like even to now, 20 years later.
They are an iconic
Wow.
trio.
Yeah.
They really are. Even like when we still had Misty but had Tracy, that wasn't the same.
No.
And then when we got to got to Hoenn and we lose Misty for May. Although May and Max were great, it's just still not the same.
Mm.
You know, they're such an iconic 3.
I'm,
And add Togepi in the mix.
I'm looking
Fabulous 5.
I'm looking forward to meeting all the other companions there, because that'll be
Yeah.
for me when like it's just not like anything kind of.
Yeah, me too. I have no idea about like anyone else.
I'm looking forward to singing your theme song actually as well. I don't want to watch them. I want to like
Experience
encounter
them.
them when like
Yeah.
when it happens.
Fair enough. You got quite a while until then, but
Yeah, well, I think there's like, isn't there like 80
50 plus.
episodes in Indigo?
there's 50, 52 in Indigo.
Yeah, 52.
And then a few of Orange Island still has the OG theme.
We
It's
have
up
a long
until
way to go.
we got a long way to go.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
You're damn right.
And then as we
Where does
release
this
a new
episode start?
episode, multiple episodes are being released. So,
That's true, actually. So we'll never catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think. Do we want to catch up? Like, because
I guess
like,
not,
There's
then you
so
run out of
many.
content, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many as well.
And we've got like so
if
many
you,
iconic
if you view it
episodes.
as like we're doing the podcast to just do the episodes, all the episodes, then it's gonna feel like a grind.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I have 10 box sets of DVDs of Pokemon series, and that's only up till Gen 4.
We should do like live commentary sometime. That could be fun.
Oh yeah, like a
Live-
live episode with our live
Yeah.
reactions.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do that with the movies.
Oh, that would be fun.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
movie specials.
Movie
Yeah.
specials.
That was my idea.
Movies can be
There's-
live.
There's proof.
Okay.
No, I just said it.
Okay, episode
Okay.
5. So this is when it starts with Team Rocket doing like a
Oh,
classic
so good.
trap gag.
This is
Yeah.
the first Team
They're
Rocket
digging
hole.
a hole and then like trying to place shrubbery over it to make
then-
a trap.
They did such a good job
Such a good job.
that
They
They got
can't
to-
even see where the trap is and they
Um,
lose it and they're like, wait, where was it? And they're
actually
like
made me
jumping
I
around.
wonder like how many like hunters actually get caught
that.
in their own traps.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm sure it happens.
and whenever it does happen as well, I always think I think it's in The Simpsons. Does Willie get caught in a trap one time? I think he does.
Mm-hmm.
Like a rope trap.
Yeah,
That's-
I think
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
Always makes me think of that.
Yeah. I wonder, because this is like James when he's like still trying to be masked, you know? Like he's still trying.
Yes.
He's not like his fabulous, like super flamboyant self yet. So I'm just waiting for James to become like even more fabulous than he already is.
Yeah, because
you know?
he already
Oh,
is
yeah.
quite flamboyant.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like, comparing to all the other male characters that have
He's a
appeared.
very
for
flamboyant
sure.
character.
I'm waiting.
James's backstory is probably my favorite backstory
It's so
of
good.
any
Do
character.
we get
Yes.
I was about to call him fantastic Team Rocket backstory?
Yeah,
Oh,
you do.
awesome!
You might get several depending on how many episodes we do.
Yes.
Oh, does it change?
So yes, so the episode.
Oh.
So yeah, that's a spoiler. So the episode begins with Ash and Misty. You know, they're bickering away, and they come across an old man selling rocks.
Yes,
Yes.
they come out of the
Yeah.
forest. They've come out of
Pewter
Viridian
City
Forest.
rocks, not just any rocks. Okay,
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
I,
They're
we
very high prices.
there's not one
They're like in
person
the hundreds.
in this chat who would not buy a Pewter City rock. So
Oh no, I'm happy to pop down 200 yen for a Pewter City rock.
what is 200 yen right now?
$2
I added like
roughly.
$2
Oh, it's like
I think.
nothing,
yeah,
yeah.
it's like $2. It's worth it, man. It's
Yeah.
totally worth it. Yeah. But then Ash is actually standing on some of the Mystery Man's merchandise.
He's like, get off my merchandise.
Get off my
He's got
merchandise.
like a big beard and like a beanie. Like he actually looks like the beanie Oliver got for his birthday. Actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
where is it?
It's a
It's out
cute
of my
beanie.
reach.
It's a cute beanie.
Yeah.
He might have. I think. Didn't you wear it in the last episode?
No, I took it off.
No, I took it
Well,
off.
I wore a beanie in the last episode.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have rocks as souvenirs, and then I think they get take. Doesn't the guy? I think he.
His name's Flint.
Flint.
He takes him to the Pokemon Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes him to the Pokemon Center where we meet Joy too. Actually, Joy. She's older. The Joy. This is where we,
Nurse
like-
Joy.
So
learned
there's a subtle hint when the Nurse Joys, like how to tell them apart. Did you guys pick up on what it was?
Oh no! What was it?
So on their hats, they have different color crosses. So this Nurse Joy had a light blue cross, and the one in Viridian City had a yellow cross. I think they kind
Wow.
of drop that later on.
Oh, they just.
It's the same with Officer Jenny's as well, because all Officer Jenny's are the same
Wait,
looking.
there's multiple
But they-
Officer Genies?
Yeah,
Yes.
but they have
Yes.
different badges
Yes.
on their hats, much like
Mm.
different color crosses.
So they
So that's a way to tell them all apart.
The Joys and
That's
the Jennies
ridiculous.
they have very strong genes which make them all look identical.
And have the same name.
Should we talk about whether like they're Pokemon or not? Because there's a theory that
Is that a theory?
That's not a
That's a
theory.
theory. Well, that's my theory.
Explain, Dennis. Explain
Okay.
the theory.
Well, you know how all Pokemon they look very similar.
Yeah.
Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny, they look the same, in like almost practically the same.
Are
and
they
they
still
have
around now?
yeah, and like even though they have like different designs in different regions, they're like Unovan. Unovan.
You know what?
form.
You know who else looks the same though, Dennis?
Who?
Twins,
Twins.
triplets.
What? So
Quadruplets.
Are we saying these are like quadruplets times 60 or something?
There's possible that makes
I
more
mean-
sense to me than them being Pokemon.
I mean,
That's all I'm
does
gonna
it?
say.
Does it?
She's
Yeah.
telling me about
Yes,
What type Pokemon are they?
They're
be
normal
be
type.
fairy.
No, they'd be normal. I think they don't have magical powers.
Well,
or
they'd be
anything.
normal because they're human, sure. But if they're a Pokemon, they'll be a fairy type, surely.
Can we
I
just?
feel fair.
Can you catch a human in a Pokeball?
Who knows?
Like,
Maybe.
because I feel like
Man, that
that's.
would change the dating scene, wouldn't it?
Oh my god!
Here we go,
I'm-
talking
I'm
about
just
shipping
saying.
again.
So.
So what happens next? So,
So they're in Pewter City.
meet Nurse Joy.
And then we get told that there's heaps of joys, like we just discussed.
Yeah, we get told.
And then he sees, I think, basically we get the plot now. We basically get introduced to the plot of the whole
Oh
series.
yeah, Misty and Ash.
They
well,
see
yeah,
the poster for the Pokemon League
Hmm.
Championships,
Good point. Yeah.
and we learn that he has to get all of the badges to start
Yeah.
competing it.
He
Eight
has to
badges.
gym battles.
So basically, Ash gets his goal, his end goal, for
Hmm.
at least this year.
he has
to
to
become
become,
the
a
Pokemon
Pokemon
Master.
Master. Yeah,
Mm.
Well, he gets like a set goal to go towards for like achieving his.
and
dream.
it's always kind of been quite a little bit vague about what a Pokemon Master kind of is.
I think it's you like.
Yeah, what do you think? A
Oh.
Pokemon Master is?
You have to be
I-
a trainer. It's definitely that.
Yeah, a
that means
trainer,
a trainer,
and
not
it's
a different
like-
occupation.
Maybe not all of you. Maybe you don't have all of the Pokemon, but the Pokemon you have such control over them that no one can beat you.
Yeah, you're just the best.
You're just
to
the
be the
best.
best.
Like
Yeah.
no one ever
I want
was.
to be the very best.
Yeah.
To catch them is my real test.
Yeah, I guess if you like have an open-ended goal like that, it's quite.
I forgot what the
You can kind of just keep moving up in the ranks.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my
Yeah.
cause.
Pokemon.
So, and then Ash and Misty they go on a date. No, they don't. They go.
Do
have,
they?
Like, they have like.
No, they don't.
They have like what? They're having like a tactical.
Oh yeah, they
Kinda-
eat lunch together.
Yeah, they have like a tactical meeting. Even though Misty like is trying to get her bike paid off, she's like
Mm.
she's going over tactics with Ash about
Yeah,
how to beat Brock.
but
Well,
Ash,
yeah, she offers help, but Ash turns her down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is actually
he
quite good
doesn't
of
just
Misty.
like turn her down. He like Ash like basically just,
Very
like,
adamantly, he's
he
like,
kind of
"I'm
just-
better than you."
yeah. He's
No.
kind of like, what the hell do you know?
He's like, no, I gotta
Yeah.
do it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, she also hasn't given him any reason to like assume that she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
But then
That's
also
true.
he kind of.
I mean, she did send out a Goldeen against Team Rocket, and they just flopped on the ground.
And she's terrified of like bugs, so he's only seen her be like useless, I suppose.
Yeah. And so then Misty stiffs Ash with the bill, and
Yeah.
then
Yes.
and then Ash goes off to face Brock.
Oh yeah.
And
Yep,
okay,
he's off to go face Brock, who's the first
So,
gym leader. We should
I
say he
feel like
goes to the gym.
Ooh.
Yeah, he goes to Pewter City Gym,
Yeah.
which is the first gym for this region.
Mm-hmm. It's like a pretty. It's like because the gyms in the games are like there's like you got to go
There's
through everyone.
puzzles.
And
There's like
puzzles.
a puzzle, yeah. You
This
gotta fight
one-
trainers.
Ash walks in and it's just like a dark room,
It's a dark room.
and
yeah.
Brock's just like, "Who's there?" Like,
yeah. Well, have you played?
He was just sitting there. Like, does he have like certain office hours, like when the gym is open?
True.
That's my thought. Is
And,
that
like-
he's just there to welcome challengers, right?
and he can't say no to a challenge. So if he's can you challenge him like at home?
Probably
Surely
not.
not. You have to be in
Yeah,
the gym.
you have to be at the gym.
Well, I guess if he has to, if they're a social distance, they can find a way.
They
How is the Pokemon world dealing with COVID-19? You know, I think that's a
mean,
topic of conversation
well,
right there.
how are they dealing with Pokerus is the real question.
Pokerus, yeah,
It's
It's like
that's
somebody just
Is
ate a
there
Zubat
actually
from the wet
disease in
markets.
Pokemon called Pokemon?
And it spreads
Yeah.
really quickly, actually.
yeah. There's a disease your Pokemon can get. It's a very rare chance.
But it's
It
a
can happen
good
in any of the
disease.
games.
Yeah. It doubles.
It's a good
the-
disease that helps
yeah.
out your Pokemon
It's a good
stats.
thing. Yeah.
It doubles the EVs they get from.
I don't
other
think Logan
Pokemon.
believes us.
Yeah.
I know. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
When we
No,
have our
it's-
episode, when we have our
There-
episode on VGC, we'll go more into this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could relate to Ash because Ash fights Brock, and Brock has a giant Onyx snake, like
Onyx.
a rock snake. And basically Ash loses, and I could really relate to that because often whenever
You also lost to a giant Onyx.
Yeah, whenever I played Pokemon and I started off with Charmander, I
Yeah.
would
Oh
get
yeah, everyone gets wrecked at
I
the
would get
rock.
wrecked.
Yeah, you get destroyed,
Or
yeah.
Pokemon Yellow as well. Like especially, I'd have to like my method of beating Brock. Even though you could catch a Mankey, was I would catch a Butterfree and train until it learned Confusion, and that's how I would beat Onyx.
Interesting.
What I would do
Ooh.
is I'd just
Oh, it was the Mankey.
I'd beef up Charmander until he was
Yeah.
until he had almost actually. I swear after
He learns. They made him learn Metal Claw, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
super effective.
In Leaf Green and Fire.
Yeah, I had
and Leaf Red,
Fire.
Fire Red.
And then like after though, like I think like almost every single time after I beat the first the rock gym, Charmander would basically involve. I'd have him Charizard by that point.
No,
So,
you
like-
Charmeleon. You
I'm
No.
sure you mean
Oh
Charmeleon.
my
No,
God.
I would get him like almost to his third evolution so that I could beat the.
The first gym.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I wasn't good at I didn't understand typing, so I didn't like. I thought Minky looked so lame. He couldn't fight anything, so I just didn't.
Oh my gosh, that's so good though.
That's funny.
A
That's
lot of-
really funny.
A
That's
lot of
very cute.
people do that though. Like a lot of people have that experience where they have to like grind out, and they're like incredibly ground out.
Yeah.
Especially if
when
you played like Nuzlocke challenges and stuff like that as well.
Mm.
But like,
But yeah, so Ash loses his first fight to Brock.
Yeah,
Brock pretty much says, "Get lost and get better."
yeah. You still don't know
Mhm.
what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because like Ash still doesn't like think about the typings really. I suppose.
What-
No.
Like he tries to attack Onyx with Thundershock. Onyx is a part ground type. It's not
Yeah.
gonna happen.
No.
Yeah. Definitely.
although it does
You know?
happen later on.
It
in
does
the
happen,
episode.
and I have my thoughts
Oh my
on
god.
that.
Okay, can I just briefly mention in the Pokemon fandom, this example gets brought up constantly. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I was really into the forums and stuff, it would get mentioned constantly. They'd be like, "Oh,
Really?
like yeah, the anime like whenever people like was like the anime has its own rules. You have like stuff like thunder armor and ground types getting hurt by electric types. Like eventually though, I feel like they've become more like reliant on the games and stuff in terms of their physics, which
Yeah.
I kind of am a little disappointed by, because then you don't have like wacky stuff like Pokemon, I don't know, like
Like
Haunter showing
Pikachu
up,
aiming for the horn.
messing people up, or like aiming for the horn, or you get like kind of crazy strategies. But
But yeah, so Ash goes outside and he runs into Flint again. And Flint kind of gives us backstory to Brock.
well, they stalk Brock.
Yeah, oh yeah, this is actually creepy. Like, where's Officer Jenny?
Yeah, they
'Cause-
go and stare at Brock and his family from like the bushes at the back
Don't
of the
stalk him. They like stand on the
Okay,
road
Oliver.
and look in.
Oliver,
All right, so
I'm
if I stood
outside your
outside your
house,
house
in the bushes
and just stared
staring
right
at
at
you and Nicola and Steve and Sid, just watching you,
Yeah.
just like.
He
be
was
like,
showing like how else could they have done that?
Oh no,
for
I'm
Ash
not
to look
saying
in?
that like it doesn't make sense to the story. I'm just
Yeah,
saying like
it makes sense. for the
imagine if
story.
you
It's
saw people
creepy.
like,
That's true. Okay.
imagine if you saw people like creeping on your house, like, and these are young kids, so like, and like
Very,
the connotations
very
of
young
like an
kids.
older
Yeah.
man looking at these young
Yeah.
kids is not good.
That happened. That happened to me once. I had
What?
this kid
What?
in primary school. No, there was this kid that like wanted to be my best friend. I didn't really
Oh.
like him, and then he moved to my neighborhood, and he just stood outside my house. And, like, fucking-
What?
What's the? Do you know the kid's
and I
name?
had to like tell my parents to make him go away.
His name
Do
was
you remember the
Dennis.
kid?
And his name was Dennis.
Do you remember the kid's name?
It's not dead.
Don't
Don't name and shame. Don't name
Yeah.
and shame.
I don't,
Tell us later, though.
No, I feel like it was like a Finn or a Philip or something.
Well, hey, Finn or Philip, if you're watching, this episode's for you, buddy.
They're
I
still
have a friend
stalking you
called
to
Finn
this
now,
day.
not
You'll
him.
get him one day. You'll get him one day.
Oh my god.
You can wear him down. So yeah, so Flint tells us that Brock has like 10 siblings,
10.
Yeah,
10
right.
brothers
and that his
sisters.
dad ditched them to go be a Pokemon
Good for
master.
nothing dad, he says.
God.
Man,
Good
his
for
dad
nothing.
was busy.
Yeah. I mean, if
Yes.
you leave someone with 10 children, I feel like you definitely
Yeah, and the
argue
mum
for the
like
leader.
it basically sounds like the mother passes away from like heartbreak and like working
Yeah.
too hard. Like she basically
Yeah.
worked herself to death, and then Brock's
That's
just like,
horrible.
Oh my god, that's so sad.
and then Brock's just like there, like he can't fulfill his dreams because like he has to look after all these other kids so they can.
It
fulfill
actually is a really like touching scene. It really like
theirs.
it's pretty sad. Even Ash is like, oh my, he's like, I can't listen to all this sad stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like yeah.
Although I want to say, like in the Japanese version, the mum is still alive,
Oh.
but she just isn't there. I guess.
Oh.
I guess it's maybe to make Western audiences
Yeah.
sympathize more. Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more
Yeah, it
relatable
would
like
have to
that.
be,
Yeah. And actually, there's like well, this is like later on, but there's like kind of like you get to see the parents in like a far, far, far future episode,
Oh, yeah.
like
oh yeah.
both of them, and like how they're running their gym. They try and turn it into a water gym. It's a whole thing.
Okay.
And so yeah, so we go
Mhm.
from so Ash can't feel that bad though because he goes to start supercharging Pikachu. Is this
Well,
what?
yeah. So Flint takes him to a rundown like watermill, right?
Oh, this is
Mhm.
weird.
And pretty much says that if you get your Pikachu to run on this watermill, his electric power will grow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
he hooks up like wires to his cheeks.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the second
Pikachu's
time Pikachu's
in
had one.
Pain.
So
It's like torture.
it's like a hydro
It's
dam,
torture.
right?
yeah.
So,
And like
Yes.
Ash is basically like on like a hamster wheel, like on the like an outside hamster wheel, like
Mm-hmm.
charging him up. And Misty's
Yes.
like, "I can help you," because she has water type Pokemon.
Well, she comes
Yeah.
and she comes from nowhere.
yeah,
Like,
she
she's
does.
been
I have that
out
in
with
my
the story
notes as
for a
well.
while,
Yeah,
and she just pops out being like, "I can help you," and he's like, "No."
Yeah, she literally offers her Pokemon, who, like, as we would know, would absolutely, like, wipe the floor with Brock's
Yes.
Pokemon because they're all
Mm.
water.
Yeah.
And like Misty's just kind of like saying that like borrowing Pokemon is like a common thing. But later,
Mhm.
like throughout the whole series, we only see maybe like a handful of times where Pokemon are like borrowed or
Yeah.
loaned between trainers. So it's just
Mhm.
an interesting.
I think she
kind of
she was
thing.
like personally offended when
Yeah,
like
she was.
because she tried to
Yes.
offer her Pokemon to Ash, and Ash was
Yeah.
having none of it.
Ash just wanted to do it all by himself,
Mhm.
and
And
well, he
tortures
learns
Pikachu.
by the end of this that you can't do it all by yourself,
Yeah, he can
which is
do it
good,
with...
which is a good lesson to learn.
But he learns at the end of it, and he's like, "Yeah, Brock, you can come with me, but nah, not Misty."
yeah,
Yeah.
nah, she's
It's
still
like-
got to follow
He
this.
does say that. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
So
happens next?
they supercharge Pikachu.
Pikachu.
He's in pain, like
Mhm.
like crying, and then like
Yeah.
he gets like real big
Electricity.
electricity, and like you see him charging
Yeah.
up, and then so Ash rocks back up to the gym.
Rocks. Check, please.
Yeah, Ash rocks back out to the gym
I'm not justifying that.
Good one.
and says, and challenges him again. And then so this
And
time,
Brock is stone cold.
oh my god.
Oh.
And Ash starts with, is it,
Pidgeotto.
Starts with Pidgeotto.
Pidgeotto.
Against Brock's
Against-
Geodude this time.
Yeah, the
not
Geodude.
Solana.
Against Geodude.
And then like Geodude just starts pounding on.
Yeah, Pidgeotto uses like Gust first, and that's like fool. Flying types are weak against Rock.
Yeah, and then like it
Yeah,
tries
cool,
to like
Ash.
it looks like it tries to use Peck or something, and then Geodude just like
It's a punching
Yeah,
at
Yeah,
it.
that chicken is cooked.
yeah, and then
Yes.
he pulls out
Well, first of all,
Pikachu?
Pidgeotto faints just
Oh,
out
yeah.
of nowhere.
yeah.
Like, Pidgeotto just drops into frame with the
Yeah.
classic swirly
Excellent.
eyes.
Yeah.
Great.
And then Ash brings out Pikachu,
Yeah,
which
actually,
then ends up one-shotting this Geodude.
Does.
Yeah. actually,
does.
what
He
I
does.
always notice as well when they faint, the puff of air that comes out looks like a mushroom.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a common like.
Yeah.
It's a common anime. It's like supposed to be like a cloud of air or something.
It's like a sigh.
like a,
Yeah. No, not a yawn, a
Mm.
sigh.
But yeah, this is this battle is one to spark thousands of debates about electricity ground types being hit by electricity attacks, as we see Geodude being hit by electricity.
Okay,
Yeah.
but he's like
Yes.
he's supercharged, so it's just like leveling up
Right.
your Pikachu. So it's like because like a non-effective meal would attack.
Well,
will
it's not
still
that
do
it's not
dam-
effective. It just straight up doesn't affect
It's
ground
Oh,
not
really?
types.
effective at all
Yeah.
in the games.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
But I guess
That
Yes.
changes it.
But like in this episode, they show like the electricity literally like smashing through rocks and stuff. So it's obviously quite
Mhm.
powerful. And I guess
But
Geodude.
that's rocks, not ground.
Yeah, I guess Geodude is like floating though, so
And
it's
the
like
only
not
reason, like-
grounded. You could argue.
Sorry. The only reason
It's-
that like
Hmm.
Pikachu even wins is because he basically breaks the stage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like they set up the
Turns on
sprinklers.
The spring.
So yeah, Pikachu's electricity sets off, puts everything on fire almost,
Yeah.
and like the sprinklers get set off, and that is weakens Onyx,
yeah.
and then
Mhm.
Ash.
Actually, or as Pikachu's getting like wrecked,
Hmm.
and then Brock calls Onyx off first.
Yeah, Brock wants to stop the match. Brock's like, it's
It's-
over. I don't want to hurt your Pokemon anymore.
Yeah.
And then Ash like keeps going.
Yeah, and then Ash uses the big attack.
And then Ash has the upper hand now.
Yeah.
But then before Ash can
Mm.
deliver the final blow for the battle, he suddenly feels his conscience being weighed down by the family members of
Mhm.
Brock. But then it turns out he's literally being held back by the family members
Yeah.
of Brock.
All the brothers and
Yeah.
sisters are like
And-
clinging
It's
on to him,
'cause-
being like, no.
But that's Brock's job, you know? It's his
Yeah.
job. Like, he's like, eventually, like, this can't be the first time
Yeah.
that someone's
ever lost.
challenged Brock and that he's lost. It won't be. Because, like,
No.
he would have had hundreds of people come through town, probably in person.
To be fair though, Brock's gym looks like probably the most ghetto out of all the gyms in all the anime.
Mhm.
You know, like
I-
it seems like they're just getting by. Like
I think the way they were going with it as well was seeing how kind of ferocious Ash was being about it.
Yeah.
Like Brock's Honest was getting destroyed by the sprinklers,
yeah.
which of course Rock is weak to water, which Misty shouts out to Ash later, and Ash is just about to like supercharge his Thunderbolt with this water as well.
he does.
So I think the
doesn't
fact,
Yeah.
well, I think he calls it off with when the water hits.
he?
I think that's what stops them is when the kids.
Yeah. Well,
come
Onyx,
and stop
Onyx does have, like, I think, maybe it was just water. I thought he had burn marks, but maybe it was just water, like he's wet.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, Onyx is like, yeah, almost dead. Pikachu's almost dead. No one really.
But then, so Ash calls off his attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like
and,
no referee.
he leaves.
Yeah, there's no
Yep.
referee in this.
Are they
gym.
referees later on?
Later on, they are like
Yep.
referees.
Oh, okay.
So
Yes.
yeah, I guess
So
like,
Ash-
they can afford
so-
a referee.
So Ash leaves the gym, and then Brock runs and chases after him, and
gets-
practically hands him the badge, saying, "You deserve this. You've earned this.
Mm.
You would have
Yeah.
beat me." And Ash gets his first gym badge,
Yeah.
the Boulder badge from
Which, you know,
Pewter
it's
City.
pretty cheap to me. You didn't technically win the fight. So.
yeah, I
Yes.
always had to win. If I
Yeah,
if
I had to win.
if I quit in the games, all I got was nothing. I got
Yeah.
shaped.
I actually
Well,
you lose money. If
Ash,
if
yeah.
you die.
Ash quits. Here's a badge.
Gets bad.
Well, that's actually brought up in a later episode, which is quite fun.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of only a throwaway line, but
Well, I was
it comes up.
Have we didn't even mention that old man is
Yeah, well,
we're
it's
getting
after
to it.
it's after that we're
after
getting
that,
to
it's
it. It's
after
after the
that.
But,
the badge given.
One question after because Brock says he wants to come with Ash to be a pokey breeder. Like that's his dream, but he can't leave his family. But what happens? Because Brock, we know Brock does go. What happens if someone else wants the Boulder badge?
well, Brock's dad would do it, or
Yeah, I guess.
Another family
Yeah.
member?
yeah.
But how do you become
they
a
didn't
gym?
explain that.
How
They
do you
didn't
become a
explain
gym
that,
leader?
yeah.
It seems
I guess-
that's like a family-run business almost.
It must be
Yeah,
like a
I guess
committee.
The
And you
family
guys-
who runs the gym, they would probably nominate a family member to be
Oh,
the
yeah.
gym leader.
And
We'd
you have to
see-
get
we'd see another-
certified or
yeah.
something. Is that's
Yeah.
what I'm wondering.
We'd see another family-run gym actually quite soon, so you'll see
Very
that.
soon.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so Brock finally meets up with his deadbeat father, who we find out was actually that old man the whole time. I know.
Flint.
What a
Oh my
God.
what a shock!
He takes off his fake beard and his hat, and it's basically an older Brock.
Yeah.
It's
old.
Brock
Can
with
I
two
just-
wrinkle lines.
Can
Yeah,
I
with,
just
like,
say
crow's
I
feet.
preferred the beard. I thought he looked better with the beard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Added
No,
some
yeah.
character, but I guess because of all the kids look the same as well.
Yeah.
Even
was
all Brock's
actually-
little
I
kids look
was-
like Brock.
I was
the genes are strong
genuinely
in that
shocked
family.
when that happened. I was actually shocked. I didn't
Really?
see it coming.
You didn't see it coming. Hey, Oliver, he literally says they're deadbeat dad, and
Yeah,
then
he
it's like
says- he
it's like a
says-
photo
Good
of this
delivery.
person who looks almost exactly like
No,
them.
he's like, oh, my deadbeat dad. No, I didn't see it coming. Like that, the old man was his dad.
Yeah, but the dad is the one who says deadbeat dad. Like,
Not
and
like
it's-
yeah,
it's
but he
his
was like
dad.
making fun of him. He was like, it was like, oh, this guy was horrible, but he's talking about himself.
yeah.
That's why I didn't see it coming.
Ah, that's funny. Maybe I've
Yeah.
seen too many TV shows where
You
the
sweet naive
parents-
child.
Like the
Yeah.
parents are the ones who left and they explain because he knows what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that a lot.
It's so interesting because I kind of just know now that that's Brock's dad, so I can't really look at it from a first.
Not see it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
And why
I
was
feel
he
you, man.
selling rocks? Why at the start of the episode?
to make
Instead of
money
caring for his
making
kids
ends meet.
who work
Yeah.
who work, you know. I mean, his kids live a few meters away. Why is he just selling rocks? Why
It
he
is
not taking
interesting
care
the
of
fact that he
kids?
left the family but still stayed in the same city.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting
what?
thought.
It's
Yeah.
so-
I mean, he's probably feeling shameful. He went off to be a Pokemon master and then he
failed.
failed, so then he has to go back, but he's also too ashamed.
But he doesn't
to
go all
go
the way
back home.
He
It's
just-
Yeah, because
Sells
he's he left
And
maybe
his
with
wife
all,
is dead now, so
Yeah.
imagine the pain,
all this
and,
bravado.
the shame.
Hmm.
You'd be like, wouldn't you want to then do something greater if your life? Be like, okay, I have all this pain. Maybe I
Yeah.
should channel it into something great for the
Well, he
greater
does-
Yeah,
good.
that's
selling,
what
he
selling
like-
rocks.
He steps up to the mantle though.
And
now.
that is a bit why he helps Ash as well, because he sees himself in Ash and probably wants to help him so Ash doesn't get in the
Mhm.
same rut as
Yeah.
the dad.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
There's a lot of layers here.
Yeah, and Brock's
Like an
father eventually steps up to the plate to be a father, and helps.
Yeah.
Lets Brock go on his journey with Ash.
To become a
What's-
Poke breeder.
Yeah.
What's fun is that Brock's dad's ready to take all this berating from Brock, but then Brock just tells him how to look after the family.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Brock's like, get me out
He's
of there.
like,
That
you need,
was
he's
really-
like, you need to learn how to sew. This kid only eats cold spaghetti.
Yeah.
These kids want to take a bath.
Yeah.
Instead of just laying into him, but he's already kind of forgiven him for it, and it's just now this is how you look after
That
them
was-
cool,
and
this is
make
what
sure
you
That
they're
was
okay.
really cute. I
Yeah,
thought it
that was
was really
cute.
cool.
I always I thought this the first time I watched it, and then this time again, I'm just imagine if you're one of the 10 kids, and a lot of those kids are probably so young that going from kind of the story, we can kind of assume they probably really never knew the dad,
Mm-hmm.
and so this dad comes back into your life,
Yeah.
your parent figure who looked after you for the last however long, left that day, that same day. for like forever, as far as you know, and you're left with like this stranger who ditched you and like basically killed your mom.
Pretty much, yeah. That's, I mean, it's a good point. Yeah, Brock's like, as soon as he knows there's a replacement, he's very quick to go.
Yeah.
He's like, cool, great.
Well,
I mean,
I
can
I think
relate to
because
that.
it's
You
just
can
as
relate.
due. Like Brock has spent all this time looking after the family.
Mhm.
Now he can finally go and try and achieve his dream.
Yeah, it's
How-
good for Brock.
Brock-
yeah.
How old
Brock's
is
like-
Brock?
Brock
I-
is 15.
Yeah, he's a little older than Ash and Misty.
Yep.
The thing with Brock is that like he's just a giver. You know?
He is. He
Brock
is such
just-
a giver.
He always thinks about other people,
And what are
puts
you doing?
other people ahead ahead of
But
ahead of he always puts other people ahead of him, and that's why Brock deserves to. He deserves this, you know. And I'm gonna ignore what I don't really see what was funny
Nothing.
about that.
Keep going.
But yeah, Brock's like, and we'll see that he's just like. I feel like in some ways he kind of babies he's like the dad of the trio.
Definitely.
And,
well,
like-
he's the oldest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like in some ways I feel like that kind of was helpful for Ash, but also
Well,
kind
we
of
haven't seen their dynamic yet.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Oh,
We
should
don't
we
know
do
yet.
like closing notes, like what we thought of the episode? Because I feel
Yeah,
like
let's
that would be
do like
fun
a
thing.
summary from each of us.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. I thought it's good because it kind of sets up. My hair is making me laugh.
He's muted himself.
Why? What do you do?
It's alright, I'm back.
I thought because like I feel like this is like from memory like the last like because like now we've had this episode kind of concludes like everything we're gonna see for the rest of the series. Like we've had because from episode 1 we've got new Pokemon, we've got how to do a Pokemon battle, how to catch a Pokemon battle, like how to use like the hospitals and stuff, and then finally like how to get how to do a gym.
Mm-hmm.
And
So the
so,
premise-
like,
So it's kind of given
Yeah.
us all the little
yeah,
pieces.
so
to
after
the
these
world.
5 episodes now, like we have all the pieces to how like the next like series is gonna go. So
Yeah.
like I feel like the exposition's done. We have like the Trinity now as well of like like Ash, like the hopeful trainer, like the breeder guy, and then still mystery around Misty.
Yeah, we say she don't fully know who Misty is
Mystery.
Mystery.
But yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's fun.
what I liked about this episode as well is that Team Rocket wasn't there, and this is a trope they kind of stick with most of gym battles, is that Team Rocket will be out of the way
Mm,
yet. Mhm.
to kind of highlight the importance of these episodes.
yeah.
Well, except
We
for
see
the
him.
next
We
one.
see him. Yeah. That's what most of them.
Yeah.
So Team Rocket pop up again right at the end.
Mm.
Apparently, they've digged their way through entirety of Pewter City.
yeah.
Yeah, which is quite an impressive feat. But they're back. Yeah, this episode's like Logan said, it sets up now what Pokemon is going to be,
Mm.
and it does that. Those 5 episodes do that incredibly well. And it's just fun too.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's just so fun, but there's heavy moments like with Brock's dad coming back and the
Mm.
story of Brock
My
and his
favorite.
mother passing. Like, although it's a fun show for kids, it's still got a heavy meaning that kids can relate to as well.
My favorite episode so far.
This one?
is
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Definitely.
Mm.
It's like it's because it's had the most to it. Like, yeah.
Do you have any other?
That's pretty much me. Yeah.
For me, I felt that I thought this episode was fairly slow, even though it has 2 gym battles in it.
Mm.
But I kind of liked that. It was kind of a slow build, and it was more of like a family drama. Like the first episode, the first gym battle in the series is like a family drama about like, Brock not being able to, assuming too much responsibility to keep his family together, which is kind of what I got out of it. Like, I mean, you're watching it as a kid, you don't really notice these kinds of things, but as like you get older, you kind of do, which is kind of cool.
Mm.
And I like the fact that it even touches upon that kind of subject matter. I think is quite cool. It's like not talking down to children at all. It's like, because there are people that can relate to that kind of stuff, and children that can relate to that kind of stuff. So to have that in like a piece of children's media is quite powerful and good.
Yeah, definitely.
And, yeah.
What's your thoughts, Tweet?
Tweet.
I just can't believe watching these like last few episodes. I can't believe I've never actually watched this before, this anime, because it's really, it's just because like I'm such a big Pokemon fan, but always on the games. Like I love the games. Like I'm always playing one of the games, but like watching these, it's just like more world building. Like it actually just like it really makes it just seem like obviously not realistic, but like expands it so much, which was like so cool to see. Like seeing the like how complex like the gym is and stuff. It's awesome. It's really cool.
Yeah, that gym, we didn't really talk about it. Like how like the stage comes in and like
it's
like an
a
environment.
modular stage, which is cool.
Yeah.
It has an environmental element to it, which is just emphasizes the battle.
Because we don't really kind of get that thing into like stages or anything for quite a long time. Like
In the games?
In the games.
Yeah. Well, it's like up to your imagination. I feel like the anime, they really kind of built upon what was presented in the games and really like extrapolated, because a lot of this stuff they had to make up from whole cloth, like the way the gyms worked, the ways the Pokemon centers work. They kind of had to work and explain those things, like having
it's explaining all the trivial things,
like Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny's, like the fact that they all look the same is like a really funny nod to like how in video games certain NPCs use the same model. And and like it's just so like it's like you know, it's just kind of like a little sly wink or a nod towards like the fact that it's based off of a game.
I forgot to say, but when I really like in the beginning of the episode when Pikachu sits on like the when they go to the Poke Center and like there's where all the balls go into the like little thing that goes into the thing, and Pikachu's like sitting in like a hole that's meant for like 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, Pikachu's like sitting in the wall. It's just quite fun.
So why we still got a bit of time and we're talking about gym and we just finished on a video game topic, what would be your favorite gym leader in the video games?
Sabrina. I love Sabrina.
Sabrina? Why is that?
She's Sabrina.
Well, you'll see.
The teenage witch.
Come on, Oliver.
We'll watch.
I know.
We'll
I'm just trying to say a lot of people wouldn't.
Sabrina is the gym leader for Saffron City. She's a psychic type gym leader, and her episode in the anime is bonkers.
Wait, Saffron City in this game? In this Indigo League.
Yeah, so we'll probably get to it at some point. But she's my favorite. She's cool. She's got that cool like hair going. So you know we're like hair twins. And yeah.
Well, for the game, I haven't played like I always liked.
Well, any game doesn't have to be Generation 1.
Yeah, I just like. Oh my. I always liked the one that I think it must be Sapphire, the one that the team was it in X or Y? The one that the team Rocket Leader owns, or is that in Fire Red?
No,
that's
in
Fire
Red.
Yeah,
that's
the one. The team.
So Giovanni.
The
Giovanni.
Viridian City Gym.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I always liked that battle.
Yeah, it's a good battle
because it's like a built-up story, like, and you go and finally confront him.
Oh yeah, that twist of Giovanni being the final gym leader, spoilers, is nothing can just top that. It's a really good twist.
We'll talk about it later, but like the fact that you know how it plays out in the anime just had me like I was so like hyped for it, and the way it played out in the anime, I was like, oh, they gave me breadcrumbs, but it was still.
We'll talk about it later, but yeah. Oliver, your favorite gym leader?
My favorite is like real specific. Would be the steel type gym leader from Sinnoh, which was
Byron.
Which is Byron.
Byron.
Which one's Sinnoh?
I just really like
Gen 4
types.
Diamond and Pearl.
And then I think he reveals that he's Rock's father. Rock is the first gym leader, the Rock gym leader.
Oh,
so it was like I don't know. That was like.
Is the Rock gym leader named Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
ROARK.
He's my new favorite.
There you go. Yeah, I just really like steel types, and he was always he has like a cool cape, I think, and he just looks cool, like real like masculine and like.
No capes.
He has cool steel types.
I really love Blaine. Because Blaine has such a personality.
What Blaine?
Blaine's the 7th gym leader, the fire type gym leader in the Kanto region.
Yeah.
And especially in Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, the personality he has in that is amazing.
The quizmaster.
He's a kooky quizmaster scientist.
Yeah.
And it's just like most gym leaders in the first game, especially when you actually play the game, not watch the show, don't have any personality.
Yeah,
but then Blaine comes
You're
out.
here, let's fight.
Yeah, but then Blaine comes out with this with like quizzes, and I'm wacky, and better have burn heal. He's so good.
I love the backstory that's hinted with Blaine as well. I think they kind of, it's in the Pokemon Adventures manga where they kind of go into it more, where Blaine and Fuji helped make Mewtwo, spoiler alert.
Yes.
Which is, and that's why he's bold, or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sweet. Okay, well, I think that's us
it.
for
that
the
was
day.
Showdown at Pewter City Gym.
And next up, we've got episode 6, which is called
Clefairy and the Moonstone.
Oh!
An amazing episode.
Huh?
It's a great episode.
An amazing episode.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I'm excited.
Anyone got anything else they want to add quickly?
Oh
yeah, so give us a follow on Facebook or Instagram at DEXperience Podcast, or just search DEXperience, capital DEX, on Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
Podcast, your podcast provider of choice.
Yeah, we'll be on iTunes.
Coming soonish.
Yep. Actually, probably by the time this one's out, we'll probably be on iTunes.
Oh, we probably will be, yeah.
Yes.
And send us an email at thedexperiencepodcast@gmail.com if you have any questions you'd like us to discuss, or comments, or concerns, or civic roles. I don't know. Follow us on our respective social media platforms.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you for listening/watching.
And much love to you all.
What do we gotta do? Sorry, I was trying to do a thing.
No, okay. Thank you for
prepare for those.
Should we
Thank you
do
for
like?
watching.
Should we all be like, gotta catch 'em all?
Oh my god. Have a good day, or if you're falling asleep, good night.
Bye.